Let's practice adding and subtracting fractions, including the fast way. So traditionally when you add fractions, we want the bottoms to be the same. One quick way of figuring out the common denominator is to multiply the bottoms. 2 times 3 is 6. So the way we do this is 2 times what becomes 6? The answer is 3. Stare at your fingers. 3 times the top, the numerator, is going to be 1. Sorry, 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times what is 6? It's going to be 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So as you can see, we now have a common denominator. 1/2 is equivalent to 3 divided by 6. 2/3 is equivalent to 4 divided by 6. In math, you're allowed to multiply top and bottom by the same thing. For the second number here, 2/3, we're multiplying the top by 2, and so you also have to multiply the bottom by 2. So we have an equivalent expression. So the rule is, when you have the same bottoms, same common denominator, you can just copy it over and you can combine this into one single fraction. 3 plus 4 is going to be 7. So this is the traditional way of adding fractions. Now let's subtract. 3 times 5 is 15. That's a nice common denominator. 3 times 5, there's 5 fingers, is 15. So 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times what is 15? Memorize your times tables. 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 3 is 9. So again, similar to adding fractions, we can just subtract. 15 remains on the bottom. We're going to combine into one term. 10 minus 9 is 1. So here's your second answer. So the third question here, we have a mixed fraction. It's recommended that you convert it to a improper fraction. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, over 2 minus 3 over 5. So we're going to treat this question as this now. And now, just like previously, we're going to find a common denominator. 2 times 5 is 10. That's one way of doing it. 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 5, the numerator, is going to be 25. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times the top, 3, is going to be 6. 25 minus 6 is going to be 19 over 10. So here's your answers for adding, subtracting. Adding, subtracting is a bit actually harder than multiplying fractions. When you're multiplying fractions, you multiply across, but please don't mix those rules up. We're adding and subtracting fractions. Now we're going to try these questions again the fast way. See if you can practice doing this in your head. What's 1/2 plus 2/3? So we're going to practice. One way of doing it is you right away, you know the bottom. The bottom number is going to be 2 times 3, which is 6. And then what's the top? The top is going to be crisscross. It's going to be this times this plus this times this. What's 1 times 3? The answer is 3. What's 2 times 2? It's going to be 4. So this is going to be 3 plus 4, which is 7. That's pretty cool. And let's try the second question again. We just copied it over. Now this minus sign, I want you to think of it as the minus sign goes up on top. Mentally, just make a decision. It moves up just a little bit. It's the same thing. So similar to before, 3 times 5, the bottoms, is going to be 15. How do you figure out the top? Focus on crisscross. What's 2 times positive 5? It's going to be 10. It's going to be 10. What's 3 times negative 3? It's negative 9. So right away, 10 minus 9 is 1 over 15. Awesome. And so previously, we figured out that this mixed fraction was 5 over 2 minus 3/5. And now you should be able to know how to do this. we're going to treat this minus 3 as if it's a numerator. So let's practice. 2 times 5 is 10. This is going to be 5 times 5 is 25. 2 times negative 3 is going to be negative 6. 25 minus 6 is 19. So hopefully you can practice this and get the hang of it and do it fast, even adding and subtracting fractions in your head.